Alright, this here is my vintage Caloric Heritage Series gas range. Electronic ignition, timer, mechanical. Doesn't really work all that good. It's hard to set, so I use this thing now. Had this for several years, since at least the 90s. Knobs are off, so it's cat proof, so when they climb on it, they don't accidentally turn it on. Open it. Standard pots and pans storage like everywhere else. 2 racks. Broiler. Also storage. Used to have a decorative glass here. That broke. My own fault, it shattered, and it was safety glass, so of course it shattered into like a kabillion million pieces everywhere, and I'm still finding pieces to this day. But take this off. Demonstrate the electronic ignition. This burner is always a bit tricky. I'll do this one. Put it like that for a second and you hear the sparker. You got light. That's where you turn it to turn it on. Ignition. Then you can set it to high. All the way down to as low as you can get it without it going out. There's no light in here. It looks like there'd be a light, but I have taken the back off. And there's no provisions for a light. There's not much to it, it's just a stove, but see my handiwork here in cutting the countertop to make it fit. I tried to use a jigsaw because when I moved in, this just was overhanging. There's no cabinet here, but it's overhanging, so this was like way out here. And the shithead handyman at the time, you know, political promises to get me to move in here. It's like, oh, come along with my saw and cut it down. Well, he never fucking did, so I had to get a jigsaw and a laminate cutting blade. The difference between a laminate cutting blade and a regular blade, for a jigsaw, a laminate cutting blade cuts on the downstroke, like this. A regular blade cuts up. But because you got like a thin veneer laminate on top of the wood, you don't want to tear this. So that's why a laminate blade cuts on the downstroke, so it cuts through the paper first. In theory, it doesn't rip. And obviously, it didn't get quite flush, because the blade was all over the place because of the cheap jigsaw, but got it down here so it just fits in here. 30-inch range, which refers to the width. So it's a bitch to move because it's heavy, so it sinks into the thin floor here. So you gotta kind of lift it up and yank it out if you want to clean under it. Then the gas line, does a gas T on it too, which taps off because the gas line runs under here, which then feeds the Speed Queen dryer with a vent right out the back. So there's really not much to it. Light switch, light on, incandescent of course. That's your thermostat. Obviously you don't want to freaking damage that. That'll probably be a bitch to replace if you can even get replacement parts. That's the thermostat for the oven that senses the temperature. So when you're using this as storage, you gotta be very careful not to damage that. Who knows if you can even get that anymore. I can still get the glass, but it's like I think $200-300 bucks. But it works without it. No, no leakage of CO2 or nothing. Now the reason why it broke was I'm sitting on the couch in the living room. 2 of my cats got into a fight. They got into an all-out brawl out here. And I threw the first thing that I had within reach, which happened to be a screwdriver. So I just threw it blindly into the kitchen. And by sheer luck, it happened to collide with the glass here. So I threw the screwdriver into the kitchen and I hear crash. million quadrillion pieces of glass all over the universe. So I can get replacement glass, but it works without it. You know, it's still going strong. No major problems with it, other than this burner doesn't always want to light. So I got the manual lighter there in case I have to light it by hand. All the other burners work though. And the timer's a bit stiff and hard to turn. I lost the knob for it a long time ago. So I just use this guy now. So that's really it. Really not much to show. I'm not going to yank it out to show behind it. And that wood is there to stop the cats from jumping down because there's a space behind here. So the cats will sometimes go down behind here. So this is here. And that piece of wood is there that I nailed in to stop the cats from going underneath the stove. You know, ingenious.